Well, we've talked to you before about your story and stuff, but the two of you together and having such similar stories and now playing such key roles together for Boise State. How cool is the story that you two kind of doing this together?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I didn't really know all that much about Quinn when he got here, but as the days went on, the weeks went on, I learned more about him. And his story, like you said, is very similar to mine. And it's just kind of cool to share that with somebody else, to know he knows where I'm coming from and I know where he's coming from. So it kind of creates a really strong bond with each other. And I think that really shows on the field when we get out there. I mean, I have the most trust in him that I could possibly have when he's holding the football, and I don't know, it just works really well.
Honestly, did you guys ever think that, like I said, you send an email, he makes a phone call, and all of a sudden you guys are starting for Boise State on special teams?
Yeah,
was it that easy?
Yeah, it's definitely not that easy as people think. I mean, it's a lot of a lot of training hours both of us put in. I mean, tons of emails you send out, and it just luckily happened that we're both here and we're both starting. So.
I mean, what's great, one of you would be one thing, but to have your kicker and your punter and both kind of with very similar stories where you maybe were not having your success elsewhere or not what you wanted, and you both find happiness here. I mean, it is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's insane. It's just something that you don't see often, and it's just special. It's a very special thing.
He was talking about the late night sessions you guys would do in the summertime, where you'd come out in the evenings or whatever, 8 o'clock or whatever, and kick and stuff and kind of get to know each other a little bit there and stuff. How big were those over the summer?
Oh, those were huge, because he would mention that when Washington State, or most field goals when we really need to get it, he just looks at me and says late nights, and that just kind of reminds me to relax and just kick the ball normally, and don't try to kill it, and it'll go through the uprights. And yeah, late nights was very fun. We'd go in the evenings after dinner or something, and hit a few balls and just talk about life.
Well, it is late night usually when you're kicking these days.
Yeah, that's true.
How long did it take you guys to kind of, I don't know, correlate your stories or figure out that they were kind of similar?
I want to say within the first week, because kind of you always ask where each other is from and what year they are, and then just go in from there. And when I learned that he was from Warner and that he also took 2 years off and was training back home, I was like, wow, it kind of sounds like me. And then just went from there.
How much does time away make you guys appreciate everything that much more?
I think both me and him appreciate this scene more than most people, because me and him came from kind of I don't know if his college experience was as rough as mine, but just teams that didn't have as much as this. So I know when we're leaving the field during warm-ups, pregame warm-ups, Quinn always tells me look at this stadium, look at these fans, we're never going to be in this moment again. When we're at BYU and at San Diego State, he's just take it in, live in the moment. It's kind of the same thing we do when we have games here, just great atmosphere, and just live in the moment and enjoy everything.
And the fact that both of you are off to such good starts too, I mean that makes the story a little cooler, I guess. How nice has it been for you, I guess, to be off to the start at the midway point of the season that you are?
Yeah, we're midway. We're off to a really good start, like you said, but we're striving to be more. We just don't want to flatline. We want to strive to be the best. We don't want to strive just to be okay or good. So there's always room for improvement.
I'm kind of curious. What is your distance? What are you comfortable kicking from?
I mean,
have you figured it out yet?
It depends on the game, the situations we're going for. But I feel fairly confident from 53 yards and in that I have a good chance of making it. The further you get back, the more complications come in with wind, all other stuff.
The only reason why I ask is I think it was right around a 52-ish yarder that you guys ended up punting. I think it would have been right around a 50-yarder against San Diego State. And I was just kind of curious. Were you confident you go out and kick that thing?
Yeah. Or? So I was on the sideline let's kick it, but I don't get paid the big bucks to coach. So I thought that in that situation we should have punted it like we did, and we ended up pinning them, which is great for our team because then they had to drive from the 5. And so in situations like that where we have to punt from half field to pin them, I'd rather do that because I know our defense is amazing. So
I know that you I don't know, you kind of play in field position or whatever, but I know there's not a stat or column on the scoreboard that says, hey, Boise State's plus 20 in hidden yards or anything like that. But do you special teamers kind of realize when you guys are in kind of a groove and doing your job?
Yeah, so we always acknowledge each other on the sideline. I mean, like you said, it's a stat that goes very unknown, and yeah, it's just pretty cool that we're having, like I said, such a good season, and that these stats every game when you see we were so plus 100 or whatever in field position, we just know that that's us because special teams is 1/3 of the game. So yeah, it's a pretty cool feeling.
Were you aware at all? I don't know about the history of kickers at Boise State and stuff. And you go back. I don't know how you laugh. So maybe you are, but I guess Why'd you laugh there?
I laughed because I've been told by students and other people like, don't pull a broadsman or whatever, and I've heard about that. But I mean, that kid was pretty good, and because it's crazy how 1 or 2 kicks can really define your career. So I mean, I guess what I take from that is take every kick at one at a time and try to be perfect.
I was gonna say, does that, I don't know if motivation's the right word, but is that kind of something that you strive for when you do know that, over the last 10 years of this program, some of their losses have come down to kicks at the end of games and stuff, and I mean, that's kind of something you, I guess, want to take a hold of if you get the chance?
Yeah, I dream of being in a game-winning situation. I mean, those are things you just live for because you want to be in that moment, you want to hit that field goal, and you want to win for your team. So I mean, yeah, I mean, hopefully it never comes down to that. Hopefully we win it by a lot, but if it ever does, I'll be ready.
I think it kind of comes more with like punting and maybe the return game, and there wasn't a lot the last couple of years, but Boise State was clearly looking for a spark on special teams, and I don't know, they got a little bit of an unconventional approach, going out and getting 2 guys to transfer in here that hadn't been playing that much recently. So I don't know, what are your thoughts on kind of the way that Boise State maybe found a couple diamonds in the rough, or I don't know, however you would describe it?
I'm not really sure how to describe it. It just, like I said, it just kind of happened. Like me and Quinn both reached out to Riddle, and because the stars were aligned, and we ended up coming here. I mean, yeah, it's just the stories are crazy, and it just ended up working out. So, I mean, they've had great specialists throughout the years. Rasa was pretty darn good. So,
better kicker or coach?